Holy Heavenly Father, thank you for always being with us. Thank you for the progress we are making in our readings. Thank you for the information we are obtaining. Be with us now as we spend more time in your word. In Yeshua's holy and mighty name, thank you, King Jesus. We love you. Genesis chapter 37. And Jacob settled in the land of his father, sojourning in the land of Canaan. And these are the descendants of Jacob. Joseph, 17 years old, was tending the flock with his brothers, and he was a lad with the sons of Bilhah and with the sons of Zilpah, his father's wives. Joseph brought to their father every evil reports about them. Now Israel loved Joseph more than all of his children, because he was the son of his old age, and he made him a long tunic. And when his brothers saw that their father loved him more than all the brothers, they hated him and could not speak peaceably to him. Joseph's dream. And Joseph dreamed a dream, and he told it to his brothers, and they hated him even more. And he said to them, Listen now to this dream which I have dreamed. For behold, we are binding sheaves in the field, and then my sheaf rose and also stood upright. Then behold, your sheaves stood all around and paid homage to my sheaf. And his brothers said to him, Will you indeed reign forever over us? Or will you indeed have dominion over us? And they hated him yet the more for his dreams and for his words. And he dreamed yet another dream, and told it to his brothers, and said, Behold, I have dreamed another dream, and behold, the sun and the moon and the 11 stars paid homage to me. And he told his father and his brothers. And his father rebuked him and said, What is this dream that you have dreamed? Will I and your mother and your brothers indeed come to bow down ourselves to you, to the earth? And his brothers envied him, but his father kept the saying in his heart. And his brothers went to feed their father's flock in Shechem. And Israel said to Joseph, Are not your brothers feeding the flock in Shechem? Come, and I shall send you to them. And he said to him, Here I am. And he said to him, Please go, see whether it be well with your brothers, and well with the flock, and bring me word again. So he sent him out of the vale of Hebron, and he came to Shechem. And a certain man found him, and behold, he was wandering in the field. And the man asked him, saying, What are you looking for? And he said, I am looking for my brothers. Tell me, please, where they are hiding, or where they are feeding their flocks. And the man said, They have gone from here. For I heard them say, Let us go to Dothan. And Joseph went after his brothers and found them in Dothan. And when they saw him from afar before he came near, they conspired against him to slay him. And they said to one another, Behold, this dreamer is coming. Come now, therefore, and let us slay him and cast him into some pit, and we will say, Some awful beast has devoured him. Then we will see what will become of his dreams. And Reuben heard it, and he delivered him from their hands, and said, Let us not kill him. And Reuben said to them, Do not pour out blood. Throw him into this pit that is in the wilderness, and do not lay a hand on him, so he might get out of their hands to deliver him to his father again. And it was when Joseph had come to his brothers that they stripped Joseph of his tunic, his long tunic that was on him. And they took him and put him in a pit, and the pit was empty, with no water in it. And they sat down to eat bread, and they lifted up their eyes and looked, and behold, a company of Ishmaelites had come from Gilead with their camels, bearing spices and balm and myrrh, going to carry it down to Egypt. And Judah said to his brothers, What profit is it if we slay our brother and conceal his blood? Come, let us sell him to the Ishmaelites, and let not our hands be upon him, for he is our brother, our flesh. And his brothers heeded him. Then the Midianites, the merchantmen, passed by, and they drew and lifted up Joseph out of the pit, and sold Joseph to the Ishmaelites for 20 pieces of silver, and they brought Joseph into Egypt. And Reuben returned to the pit, and behold, Joseph was not in the pit, and he tore his clothes. And he returned to his brothers and said, The boy is not there, and I, where will I go? And they took Joseph's tunic, and killed a kid of the goats, and dipped the tunic in the blood, and they sent the long tunic, and they brought it to their father, and said, We have found this. Do you know whether or not it is your son's tunic? And he knew it, and he said, It is my son's tunic. An awful beast has devoured him. Joseph is without doubt torn in pieces. And Jacob tore his clothes, and put on sackcloth upon his loins, and mourned for his son many days. And all his sons and all his daughters rose up to comfort him, but he refused to be comforted. And he said, For I shall go down into the grave mourning for my son. Thus his father wept for him. And the Midianites sold him in Egypt to Potiphar, an officer of Pharaoh's captain of the guard. This concludes chapter 37.